This just keeps getting better for the Toronto Raptors as more details have been revealed. We have multiple updates regarding Jamison Battle and some of the moves that have been made over the past week or so with this Toronto Raptors squad. Darko Rajakovic made some very encouraging quotes about guys that are part of the future of this organization. So we'll discuss that, including the latest injury updates for this Raptors group as they close out this stretch leading into the All-Star break. So much to discuss, but folks, you guys have been crushing it, hitting that subscribe button, and we have a goal of 37,000 subscribers, and we are very, very close to that target here now at this point, just about 44 subs away. So if you guys have just tuned into the channel, you're checking out the vids, you want to stay up to date with everything regarding the Toronto Raptors, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. But let's dive into the news. Let's dive into the latest because we have a lot of interesting updates to discuss out here in this video. Before we get to the latest kind of news updates, we do have some injury news for this Raptors team, as Gradey Dick and Jonathan Mobo are probable for tonight's game against the Philadelphia 76ers, while Brandon Ingram, RJ Barrett, Jakob Poeltl, PJ Tucker remain out, and Lawson's out there with the 905. We do have a Shamshay call-up, so keep your eyes peeled for older Shamshay coming out and playing against potentially a Joel Embiid, which would be a crazy watch. I mean, Joel Embiid is questionable for tonight's game against us. If Joel Embiid plays, that's the testament to if you are a tanking team or not, whether or not Joel Embiid actually suits up against you, because he only wants to play against the worst teams in the NBA, gets his stats up and things like that. So we do have a lot of injury updates out there on that front, but we have some more things to discuss and really dive into, because Jamison Battle is the most recent signing for the Toronto Raptors. We broke down how he signed a multi-year contract, but more details came out on that contract, and frankly, it just keeps getting better for this Toronto Raptors team. Basically, news came out the Raptors signed Jamison Battle to a 3-year, $5.25 million deal, which is fully guaranteed for this season, 50% guaranteed for the 2025-2026 season, and is non-guaranteed for the 26-27 season. So this is very, very... I don't want to say anything's perfect, but this is a perfect contract for the Toronto Raptors to put in place for a guy that has been really, really good for this Raptors team. I mean, this season is averaging 5.4 points per game, 2 rebounds per night, shooting 42% from the three-point line, over 40% out there in the corners, is only 23 years old. He also has some size, he has some hustle, he seems very much bought into what this Raptors team is doing, and he's a guy that was an undrafted free agent, came to this Raptors Summer League team, and we weren't sure if he was even going to get run on the Summer League team. And then he just shocked everybody with his elite shooting, his poise, his confidence, even coming off the bench for that Summer League roster. And then, of course, he continued to get better for that Raptors team over the course of that Summer League team, and then got picked up in preseason. There was serious debate about whether or not he'd actually make the roster because, of course, we had Brandon Carlson already signed to a 2-way contract, and there was only one roster spot left. It was between him and Bruno Fernando, and at the point, we definitely needed some depth out there at the center position. So things took a turn, and then Jamison Battle ended up getting the 2-way spot. Fernando got the full-time roster spot, and now he's played his way into a full-time rotation spot, and the Raptors now have maintained his flexibility. They have him at basically the minimum contract for the next 3 seasons, and if things kind of come up, because Masai Ujiri's discussed, he's talked about how flexibility is a big thing in terms of the Raptors' ability to rebuild, reconstruct this roster, and everything that's going on. And I don't think there's a world where we end up cutting Jamison Battle, but being a young guy, being a player that's working his butt off to get out there in the NBA, you don't want him to kick his feet back and relax and be content with where he's at. So, him having this contract is motivation on his end. The Raptors maintain that flexibility, and they have one of the more elite shooters in the entire NBA at a very, very cheap contract over the next few seasons as he continues to develop and improve. So that is huge. And Darko Rajakovic is really pumped up about everything that's going on here with Jamison Battle. As basically he said, first of all, he's a player that's a proven shooter. That's the first skill that we really liked. But more than that, from day one, you could just see his determination. You could see it in his eyes, the way he was communicating with the coaches, trying to learn and trying to soak in that knowledge any way that he can. And this is what I'm getting back to, because Battle has been locked in. Every single opportunity wasn't really handed to him. He's continuously staying at that point with the unguaranteed money, unguaranteed contracts here now at this point in his NBA career. But every single time, he is snatched from the unrealistic expectations of getting a roster spot out there from a Summer League team, from making the actual big group after getting in there a preseason, getting in the rotation, all of these types of things. Jamison Battle continues to earn and prove that he is that elite guy, and the fact that he is showing that determination, that grit, and that intensity to a guy like Darko Rajakovic out there in practice is communicating all these different things. It's a testament to where he's going to end up. I mean, he is already one of the league's better three-point shooters. He has that size, he has that frame. If he continues to build out there, especially on the defensive end, he's going to be a piece that's extremely valuable to this Raptors team very much in the long term. So basically, Darko went on to say, and we saw a lot of growth with him during the season. Is that with his body? Is that with his finishing around the rim? Constant improvement on the defensive end. Every time when he was on assignment with the Raptors 905, he was taking it very seriously. He is a player that is very professional, and those traits together, this is the reason why we like him so much. So, again, Darko's pretty a player-friendly coach, but he gives it to you straight. If a guy's not hustling, he's not been afraid to, go out there and quietly or behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, criticize, hey, we need more energy, we need this, we need that. And the fact that he has such high praise for a guy that in his rookie season is already putting up numbers such as this, especially in terms of the percentages. Of course, I need to add the minutes per game. I'm going to get to it. It's hard to build these things, these bots and engineer all those types of things. But for a guy that's in limited run, already shooting these elite percentages, and mostly taking these three-point shots, so it's at a pretty extremely high volume at 6'7". He already has the intangibles of an already elite player. Of course, he's a little bit older for most rookies, but that attitude, that intensity, that poise that he has already is just a huge boost for this Raptors team moving forward. And Darko's really amped up about it, feeling positive about it, everything that's going on. And he also went on to say that he just needs to stay on the same path. He can't start feeling comfortable in whatever sense. He just needs to continue to bring that grind every day and intensity and help his teammates any way that he can. So, that's huge for this Raptors team kind of moving forward, getting into that position. Of course, that's a very reasonable contract, but improving on the defensive end, his finishing, building up his body to be a bit more explosive, to take more contact out there on the defensive end. That's all going to be big positives here for this Raptors group. But I don't know. I'm just excited to see Jamison Battle now unlocked after the few of the trades that happened. Battle's going to actually get some rotation, right? Get some minutes out here for this group at the close of this season. But, him as well as Gradey Dick out there, coming off the bench in future seasons, knocking down threes. We are going to see some elite three-point shooting moving forward for the squad. Hopefully, Gradey Dick does not have a serious neck issue. It's nice that he's questionable or probable for tonight's game. I'm amped up to see the youngins build up that chemistry, build up this squad, and whether it comes with a few losses, a few wins, I don't really care either which way. This team is going to be nasty, and a deal like this for Jamison Battle sets up the team very well for seasons to come. So let me know what you guys think about all this in the comment section down below. You guys are the best thing as far. Subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. Again, we are very close. Very close to that goal. 37,000 subscribers, just 44 away. If you made it this far, I mean, you're 8 minutes, 13 seconds in the video. Hit that subscribe button. Anyways, you guys best. I'm signing out. Cheers.